Just feel like you can't catch a break, when it rains, it pours for our year.
The most frustrating part is not being sure of what we could have been.
Who would have thunk it that the Lakers would not even make the playoffs? A lot of soul searching to take place during the offseason.
Our goal was to win a championship.
We didn't get it done. You can't make no excuses about it.
Far from the gold standard of the purple and gold, that's how the Lakers season ended. But we're looking ahead as ESPN NBA front office insider Bobby Marks joins us now. Bobby, since free agency has opened, it has been eerily quiet in LA. This is the chess, not checkers portion of the NBA season. So play grandmaster for us. What is going on in LA's front office?
Well, we knew it was going to be relatively quiet because basically they had the taxpayer mid-level exception that they spent on a player like Lonnie Walker. And then they did a little bit of free agent shopping, certainly here. Damian Jones, Juan Toscano-Anderson, players signed to the veteran minimum exception here. Now, the big question is, how does this roster take that next step? And I think it starts certainly with what's the future of Russell Westbrook? $47 million, last year of his contract. If you're just going to get rid of Westbrook, a team like San Antonio that has cap space maybe to absorb him, it's going to cost you. First-round picks. The wild card, what Laker fans would love, is Kyrie Irving. But Brooklyn's not doing an Irving for Westbrook swap. For one thing, it would cost the Nets about $70 million in additional tax penalty. And the second thing is, younger, all-star, fits better here. So to incentivize him, likely 2 first-round picks here. And it's going to be up to the Lakers if they want to do that type of deal.
So if that top of the wish list item isn't available to them, what are the machinations that they can still improve this roster? Because, again, the gold standard is championships. That's what LeBron wants, is rings. How do they take another step toward that if that ideal doesn't work out?
Well, they still have the veteran minimum exception to go out and spend. You also have players like Talen Horton-Tucker that you can potentially put in a deal. Kendrick Nunn, $15 million gets you back about a $20 million player. Maybe a player like Eric Gordon is out there, but everything is going to cost you draft compensation. And I think when you have LeBron, and he's certainly in the last year of his contract, remember he's extension eligible in August. 2027 and 2029 first-round picks don't mean anything. So you have to do everything right now to put a championship roster around him.
Very compelling point of the year, and it's one of those things where you just can't go to sleep. Remember, the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard thing came about, 3 in the morning Eastern Conference time. Bobby, we thank you for always being on the clock and being here with us on SportsCenter.
Thank you.
$93 million guaranteed. He's been more hurt than healthy. But Phil, as crazy as it sounds, everybody said you absolutely had to do this deal. An easy decision to keep him in the Big Easy. Of course, we're talking about Zion Williamson. Despite the drama, 5-year deal. According to Woj, he'll be here in just a second. First pick in the 2019 draft. You all know he was a generational talent from the moment he went to Duke. But injuries have marred the early part of his career. The operative number is what Phil said, the 85. I mean, think about this. He's played in far fewer games than he could have. Remember, he missed his entire rookie season, third fewest by a #1 pick through 3 seasons. But on the bright side, he's the only player in league history to average 25 points on 60% shooting in a 2-season span. And as promised, the NBA's best insider is here with us tonight here on SportsCenter. From your reporting, Woj, help us understand the thinking on both sides here to get this massive deal done for Zion.
Well, start with what Zion Williamson has done on the court in the NBA. Probably the most dominant paint scorer there is in the league right now. 25 points, 60% shooting in consecutive seasons. Nobody's done that. And the belief that he is fully recovered from that foot injury, that he's in great condition, that he's got a whole off season now to get ready and return to a New Orleans team that's going to be formidable in the Western Conference. I think a lot of conversations between David Griffin, the executive VP in New Orleans, Zion Williamson and his agent Austin Brown, in getting to a place where they're comfortable moving forward in a belief, that Zion Williamson can still be one of the dominant players, the dominant offensive players in the league. And you look at the team he's coming back to now that includes C.J. McCollum, who was added in that trade last year, really impactful for this group. This is a New Orleans team that is going to be a real threat in the West. And listen, that organization on a 5-year, full max contract, believes, Zion Williamson is still at the center of their future.
And you add Ingram to the mix too, and the fact that New Orleans finally has the one thing it's always wanted since returning to the NBA, stability. Yeah. And they finally have it. I can't get you out of here without asking about the latest on the Nets. What's your reporting telling you there?
Well, listen, there's still a lot of conversations going on between Brooklyn, teams around the league. Two of the teams that Kevin Durant would like to play with, the Phoenix Suns, the Miami Heat, they've both been in pretty consistent contact with Brooklyn, I'm told. But I think both teams individually may not have enough to do a deal with Brooklyn without being able to go out and move some pieces around in 3-player, 4-player trades. And I think for Brooklyn, and I think they're even more determined after they see the Rudy Gobert trade, the DeJounte Murray trade, the number of picks and assets moving, 5 first-round picks essentially for Rudy Gobert. What's Kevin Durant worth? And I think not just the picks, and I think Brooklyn is going to try to exhaust 4 or 5 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps in it, but also at least an all-star level player. And certainly that you look it out and who's available, how they get those deals done. They're going to be they're generally going to be complex deals. They're going to take time putting together. But Brooklyn knows they've got time on their side now, not just the offseason, but Kevin Durant's got 4 years left on his contract. I think Brooklyn will continue to try to talk throughout the league and get what they know has to be a monumental deal if they're going to trade Kevin Durant.
It's an unbelievable crossroads here for General Manager Sean Marks. Kevin Durant, to Woj's point, stunned the NBA world July 4th, 2016 when he agreed to join the Warriors. And as we come upon July 4th this summer, we'll wait to see what KD does. Woj, thank you very much.
Ruben.
He finally did break his silence, tweeting, "The ones who are locked in that gym with me know what it is. They know what I'm about. If you haven't been in there with me, ask around."
A short fuse and a massive social following.
This is a Shaquille O'Neal type force of nature with a point guard skill set.
He's the most unique player on the planet.
I am who I am. I'm Zion.
He is a 1 of 1. Now the pertinent numbers for Zion: 5 for 193. That's years for $1 million, up to 231 potentially. Zion Williamson's rookie max extension is the latest chapter of an NBA career with extreme ups and downs in the Big Easy. 2019's top pick to the Pelicans as they moved on from a drawn-out Anthony Davis saga. Zion was worth the wait in NOLA, made his debut 3 months after tearing his meniscus in the preseason. Flashes were there. 22 points on the debut, 17 in the fourth quarter alone. When on court, Zion's been spectacular, all-star starter in just his second season. Just the 3rd player ever to average 25 points on 60% shooting, joining Kevin McHale and Charles Barkley. But the lows are in Zion's absence, missing last season with a foot injury and rehab. He's played just 85 games in 3 seasons, 3rd fewest by any top pick since 1966.